I'm curious, Doug, as you look back at some of the most successful projects, what made them so successful? What allowed you to take a line or piece of equipment and turn it from 43% OEE to 80%?
Uh, the great part about this process, number one, is I always tell people this is really simple. It's a 7-step RCM process. It's traditional RCM. Now you'll read things of mine that says it's 5 steps. And I'll explain that probably later on in this presentation. Number one, understanding your critical assets. Number two, taking the time to do the measures. And that's really what turned Whirlpool on right away. And I was lucky with that. And that my first customer got into doing the measures. They got into doing their OEE, and then they learned, gee, OEE is actually a reliability tool. If you do it right, if you can show where your losses are, then that turns people on to, gee, there's some simple things we can do to improve reliability here that really even have nothing to do with maintenance, right? What's our supply chain look like, and how do we order and stock those things to make sure that we have got enough of the screws to put that little motor or pump in? Because we run out of those from time to time and the line shuts down for 10 or 15 minutes while we're out hunting those up. How do we make all that stuff work together? So in doing that, when you have those successes, and this is one of the things that I really love, going to a company new, like I'm doing a new one here in Rochester, which is fun for me because it's actually the first company that's had me in from Rochester, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. And I go in and I tell those maintenance and operations folks, I said, how you sit around the break room and you complain, gee, if they only listen to us, we could make things better here. This is your chance to do that, right? We're going to talk about your machine, and you're the ones that know best how this thing operates, and then what are the things that cause it to fail. And we're going to talk about what do we need to do to either eliminate those failures or somehow mitigate them so that the downtime is less, like you and I talked about starting out, right? If we can eliminate that downtime, we can put more product out the door. Mm-hmm. If we put more product out the door for the same cost or less, we can reduce the unit cost of product, right? When we reduce the unit cost of product, we become more competitive, and that puts pressure on our competitors, right? And so when you relate that to the business people, to the people that are on the ground floor, and show them, you have the power to change this. Right? But you got to stand behind it. When we get done with this, we got to make sure it gets implemented, that the task actually gets done. Until then, all we've done is sit around the conference room and talk about this, right? And that accomplishes nothing. So you're the folks that understand it, and you're the folks that actually have to do this. And in the end, you'll find out you're the ones that actually get credit for it as well.